last race in the IORA Cup Series, Chase Schaefer came home as the victor in Monza. And now this is the last race of the IORA World Tour here in Spielberg, Austria. It is the Red Bull Ring, and it is race number 18 on the schedule as we are going down and around Red Bull Ring for the first time this season. The twin ring race cut, and it will be replaced by Martinsville. But tonight, we are going to keep with the World Tour theme and have everyone rolling internationally once again as the driver of the 99 machine. Chase Schaefer is on his way now as he takes a big downhill descent into the first segment of turns. Right behind him, the driver of the 96 machine. That's James Thurston. It is a Red Bull number 96 to commemorate being at the Red Bull Ring. He's currently top of the charts with a 133.528, and in second is Aiden Walker with a 133.586. Mason Moriarty's in third. Michael Deitch is in fourth, and Corey Lyles 6 seconds off of the pace. Position number 6 at the moment, and he is a total of 6 places down in a list of 10. That's Sean Conklin, newest driver on the scene in this race. Braxton Whitaker in the 51 in a similar spot, as well as Schaefer on the move here nonetheless, as it looks like Sean Conklin puts it up to 5th on the board. Practice will be extended for tonight's event, I believe only slightly, due to a minor issue when it came to scheduling this event, and we will see how long practice lasts as a result. So still pending when we will get on our way. It will not be in 30 minutes, but it should be within the next 10 or 15. And Chase Schaefer still on the move here as he passes under the Alpha Tauri tower there. And not necessarily a tower, but the Alpha Tauri signage right in front of the racing surface. And Schaefer on the move here, pulling a gap as he is now fastest on the board by 0.2 of a second. He currently leads the World Tour Championship standings by a total of 3 points. And if he gets it done on top, he will end up as the winner of the $50 bonus that goes to winning the IORA World Tour. Only a short segment of the circuit, and I believe a very short segment of this season as well, as Chase Schaefer is rounding both of them. IORA World Tour comprises of a total of 4 races this season, and that is including the All-Star race. So 3 points paying races, and if you come out as the highest point scorer in that segment of 3, you will come home with a $50 points bonus no matter where you finish in the championship. Schaefer, however, is also leading the overall point standings following a dominant race at Monza, and now he has a great shot to take home both titles at once. It's one step leading to another, though. Schaefer still has to nail this one down before he gets on to the remainder of the championship. Aiden Walker third on the board right now as he is in the 213 Simware number 93 machine. We saw James Thurston there working with another Red Bull machine, and that is the driver of Vincent Guecci. And the Oh My machine of Guecci now 7th on the board, going to get it into a bit of the barrier as he is in the Mazda, a number 09 machine. James Thurston there as well, right beside him, the Nissan. And both of them are running custom decals on their Ford Mustangs. It's much easier for the Mustangs to have custom decals compared to any other of the cars. And you can see it in motion here. 2 custom manufacturers on 1 template. And Corey Lyles appears to be beached at the moment. Aiden Walker third on the board still as you watch the Chrome number 93 machine. The reflection on the Chrome as he passes by the disheveled number 56. And everyone here seems to have a good segment going and a good sense of the pace here in Spielberg. Braxton Whitaker right now on pit road in the number 51 machine. Sean Rowe there with him. And Corey Lyles, the final driver, currently with a lap timed. He's about 7.5 seconds off the best lap set by Chase Schaefer, as Schaefer is now a 1.5 seconds over the remainder of the field. He seems to have the dominating pace once again, and we will see how long that pace keeps himself out front. 27 laps, shortened by 1 lap. It was going to be 28, so it is going to be down by 1, but not a major shortening. We will be shown, as a matter of fact, a great event nonetheless. 24 minutes remaining here in practice. It should be shortened sometime soon. We'll see whether or not that ends up being the case, but the 99 still on the move here. James Thurston in second, and Aiden Walker is in position number 3. As we are still waiting with 23 and 42 seconds remaining on the board. Mason Moriarty 4th, Sean Conklin 5th, Michael Deitch is in 6th, and Vincent Guecci in 7th. Corey Lyles in 8th, and Sean Rowe in 9th, with Braxton Whitaker now getting on his way on the 51 machine. First time we've seen him on the track since his first lap went astray about 52 seconds in about a second or third sector. Whitaker getting back on the road, trying to redeem himself and put himself on the charts. As it looks like James Thurston now trying to put it together a better lap. He's about a second up on his average pace here. and we'll see whether or not he's able to make something happen. He is currently just about a half second off of the top lap on the charts. Chase Schaefer, nowhere to be seen. He's got a gap on these guys, and they are all pushing to find something. As we see Chase Schaefer's adversary so far, James Thurston, going way off the track, and he's going to be able to fight it back onto the circuit. That's a 1:33.048, not fast enough to knock his best lap off, and still competing with himself. It's all about taking the apexes right here in Austria. Aiden Walker, knowing that as well, he's about 2/10 away from taking second here. And Sean Conklin, about 87 thousandths away from taking position number 4. It looks like Michael Deitch on the World Hub is owner right now. The Raptor Tough number 57 machine in the mix as it stands. And Guecci in the 7th spot right now as he's being chased down by Aiden Walker. And Guecci about a few seconds off the pace here, about 3 seconds off the pace compared to Walker, and Walker gets himself gapped. It only turns time and makes the move past the 09 machine. Seems to have the great pace here, the driver to the 93 does. As we continue to look around the field, Deitch still on his way. Braxton Whitaker trying to get his first time lap on the board. Sean Rowe still on pit road, the 3G number 19 machine, but it's still the 51. Now looks like sponsored by TH Designs there, and a stunning paint scheme of red, white, and blue for the first time for Whitaker, not sponsored by himself, as he comes down to the stripe, and that will be a 3-minute warm-up lap. Now time to see what he can do this time through his first time lap of the session. We got an awful lot of time here in practice. Maybe we'll be able to take a chat with one of the drivers. Chase Schaefer, fastest on the board so far, so how about we take a word from the driver of the 99 machine and see how he's feeling, as we still have quite a lot of time here in practice. Schaefer, top of the board as it stands. How do you feel?
Feeling pretty good. Just trying to get laps down, do the same thing I did last week, just trying to get locked in and not miss any breaking points.
And certainly locked in right now, about a 1/10 of a second up on the remainder of the pack in practice. Still have a few minutes, and it might be up to 21 minutes remaining in the charts here. But with as much time as we have left, how is it going to be preparing for qualifying, preparing for practice, which will be a little later than usual this week?
Just try and put down a lap like I did in practice. Just try not to make any mistakes and be calm.
Certainly being calm at a track like the Red Bull Ring, very important at a 27-lap event. And it looks like right now we have a field of about 10 drivers, so not as much as we had last week by. There's still expectations of chaos with the field we have.
Yeah, definitely expectations of chaos. I'm sorry.
All good there. Is 20 minutes remaining on the board, still the fastest on the chart. So any final thoughts right now?
Let's just keep improving. Hopefully we can get this World Tour Championship.
And certainly Chase Schaefer on the move, leading the World Tour Championship as it stands. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you.
A little bit of time here, 20 minutes remaining in practice as Schaefer goes off just a bit, and he's going to go just only slightly astray as James Thurston now second on the board, a 10th back. Schaefer, that time by, put down a 1:32.270, and that's going to be out 16 thousandths of a second, 17 thousandths of a second, slower than his all-time fastest lap in this session. So consistent and quick, as Thurston's going to plow it into the wall there, and it looks like he'll be done and done with that run, and it's going to be on the move for yet another. Aiden Walker still on the point here as a 93 machine waiting to get this thing started. 19 minutes remain, and practice slightly extended this week before we get into the show, so we are going to have a bit of time waiting before the race gets on its way. And Mason Moriarty in the 6th machine, the Kempton excavating machine, puts itself up into 4th, and is going to be ahead of Sean Conklin now by still only 87 thousandths of a second. If this is Conklin's best lap, and it won't be, he'll be able to blast up, but it looks like a 1:33.889 sticks for the Conklin machine, as the 802 is the mark he's chasing to gain at least one position on the board. Braxton Whitaker's best lap, 1:40 right now, but a second off of Corey Lyles, and about less than a second off of Lyles now as the 51 on the move. Looks like Sean Rowe still the only driver who's not gone out on track just yet. Corey Lyles going to park it there, as Vince Guecci going to be oh so close to Chase Schaefer now, chasing down the fastest driver in this field. And having a driver that is so quick like Chase Schaefer is incredibly important to practicing and learning how it is to be quick lap after lap, time after time, as Guecci going to take it for a hard spin, and Chase Schaefer watching the barrel roll in his rear view mirror, going to set it up high just a bit once again. 1:32 one last time for the driver to the 99. It was a 32.784 last lap for the driver to the 99 machine as he gains in on another driver, and that is Sean Conklin. And Conklin, the number 54, has one right behind him, and it happens to be the one driver faster than anyone so far. Well, let's watch the rear view and see the battle in motion. As it stands, it looks like Shea Shaver gonna have a bit of trouble getting by Corey Lyles, gets it all the way squirrely, and both drivers having to maneuver past the driver of the 56 as Lyles is still parked on the track. But either way, you can see Schaefer chasing down Conklin. He's got a lot of speed and a lot of power being put into the car. He might be able to make something happen, as you can see for the onboard camera, going past the RedBullRing.com signage. Coming down to the final segment here, Conklin is within reach. And oh so close he is to the driver of the 54. Coming down the stripe, almost gets down on the grass, but Schaefer is moving. And it looked to be actually one of his slower laps there by about a second's worth. That was 133.446. And still going to have to chase down Conklin with intent. Tire wear might be put into play. As you can see once again, about 30 degrees out of line, and that is a very intense angle as it looks like he's going to back it down and set it in for a new set of tires. Aiden Walker going to do nothing of the sort as he chases down Sean Conklin now himself. Conklin still is 5th on the charts here with 17 minutes remaining in practice. Waiting to get this show on the road, it's Guecci in 7th, Whitaker in 8th, Corey Lyles in 9th, as Lyles now has it back down on the grass. Looks to be a series of pirouettes and spins for the driver of the 56 as Whitaker puts it up into 8th, and now gaining time on Guecci for 7th. Might be able to make a competitive run here. Braxton Whitaker getting closer and closer to the front of the field as we speak here in Austria. This is the Red Bull Ring race 18 of the season, and Shea Shafer leads him down nonetheless. 16 minutes, 26 seconds remain, backing it down to the inside line once again, down to the stripe for Shea Shafer in only a few moments time. As you can see, getting oh so close to the barrier and the gravel trap of that curb, and using every single amount of the curb, every single inch of the curbs, all the amount you can get is incredibly important to becoming a quick driver here in a road course setting, especially internationally. Those green curves, that might be a bit of a trick when it comes to learning them, but mastering them is incredibly important if you want to be a quick driver, lap in, lap out. And Chase Schaefer, knowing that for certain, as the 99 Monster Designs machine, putting it down to the pavement faster than anyone else, still by a second and a thousandth to spare. And Schaefer still has it over James Thurston. And the highest driver with the most amount of laps when it comes to, of course, the highest amount of experience so far. Mason Moriarty has 11 laps in at the start-finish line at the very least, and he is currently 4th on the board. Experience paying off for the driver we know is a dirt ace, but right now on a road course, Mason proving to be pretty quick as he's pacing at about a second and a half off of the leader, but still getting closer to Aiden Walker in 3rd position. That's 15 minutes will remain in practice, and we might skip to the main event in just a few moments as qualifying something due to come up any minute now. Braxton Whitaker putting it up into 7th, getting past Guecci, and now only a second off of Michael Deitch. Deitch in a world of his own right now with 1 minute 35, his best lap, 2 seconds off of 5th, but 1 second ahead of 7th. And still in a good spot there, the driver of the 57 is, as the 51 slowly but surely gaining in. And Corey Lyles right now looks to be the slowest driver on pace. Sean Rowe looks to be disconnected. And Lyles is now 9th on the board with 14 and a half minutes remaining. And the 56 going to send it astray once again, pushing the limits. And while he does not have a fast lap in, he's learning a lot about the track limits, what he can do, moderating the tires, moderating the fuel. And pushing that hard could eventually lead to becoming a quicker driver in the race. That we will see. Whitaker still on the move here, trying to put down a better lap than what he's put down before. Best lap is a 1 minute 36. He looks to be about a half second ahead of his average lap here, so he might be able to put down something worth noting, as the 51 still learning, still improving here in practice at the Red Bull Ring. Practice running a little long in this event. 13 minutes remain, as a matter of fact, in practice for tonight's event, as Chase Schaefer coming down to the stripe oh so quick. Still fastest on the board, 1 minute 32 remaining on the charts. And James Thurston in 2nd, Aiden Walker in 3rd. As we still wait for the show to get started here, we still have a lot of time to see if these guys are improving. As it looks like now, Michael Deitch putting it in to 6. Braxton Whitaker still in 7th here and still rolling as Whitaker sets to gain and improve time after time. Schaefer, though, looks to be one of the only drivers now coming onto the track off pit road. Looks like he came down on the pits just a few segments ago. And he's back on his way. Coming down to the stripe here for the driver of the 99 machine. This is Chase Schaefer. And Schaefer is on a tear. We will see what he can do. We take a lap here with the driver to the 99 and see if it is on board for the fastest driver in this event so far. And Schaefer looks like he's gonna bend it there. How about we ride with another driver? Looks like James Thurston on the move, and he's gonna put it into the tire barrier as well. And now we're gonna check it on yet another. Maybe there's someone we can watch here. Mason Moriarty might be the one. Let's take a lap on board. And as we look inside the cockpit, second gear, a lot of shifting. He's going to put it up to 3rd and then put it up to 4th and going all the way to 5th, so a wide gear range here in Spielberg. You can see having to back it down all the way every time he hits an intense period of braking. And getting it all the way down to 1st gear now, as a matter of fact, and slowly but surely weaseling his way through the track, all 5 gears being put into use. And he's going to be able to use them all once more here. He's backing it down to the stripe. Slowly but surely making his way there. We'll see whether or not he has what it takes to keep himself in the mix. As 11 minutes remain here in practice, could be shortened, subject to being shortened. As now, he looks to be one of the many drivers on the track. As River Page now watching as Alex Anderson going to be joining the session here. And Anderson making his way in just a bit late here. And if it was a normal session, he would not be able to enter, as it is the Raptor machine of River Page and Michael Deitch, as Deitch and the Raptor chasing down the driver to the 24, and it looks like vice versa for only a moment, but Page on the hunt, and the 57 going to be able to get away there, but only just as they both go into the gravel trap, only for now. And Chase Schaefer coming down to the line. There now looks to be a field of 12 drivers, as River Page and Alex Anderson join the fray there. 99 backs down to the inside line, almost gets on the sausage turn there, and now Page and Rowe on the move, as Sean Rowe gets out on track for the first time all session long. He's been here for quite a while. With 10 minutes remaining. Now getting to cut his teeth in here in Austria. And the 3G number 99 machine with PBR on the back bumper. That's Zach Todger's team, and they were eligible for this championship, but it looks like Todger pulled out of that race. And Michael Cromettis not in it as well now, as you can see, not in this event, and it looks like now about 10 drivers mathematically eligible for the championship this season, the 3rd season of IORA competition. It's going to come down to guys like Thurston, guys like Chase Schaefer taking command of the road courses as he gets it all the way down to the exit of the gravel trap and putting it back on the track now, as James Thurston in the 96 still rolling here in his Nissan, and practice looks to be over. Chase Schaefer, fastest man on the board, and we will send it into qualifying for the first time at Austria this season. Last time we saw the IORA guys take on Spielberg, it was in the IORA Formula 1 series, but this is the big show. $300 on the taken for anyone who's able to get it done in the main series, the Cup Series, and win the championship. As now drivers get on their way in practice, the outlap here before we get the show started. And what an outlap it will be, all about warming up those tires, all about getting it up to temp, all about getting the proper performance before the 2 most crucial laps of the race, perhaps of the World Tour season. For some of these drivers, you can't mess up now, but you're going to be mired back in traffic, and you don't want to be anywhere close to the back of the field here. And that is for certain. Gwetch, you're going to spin the tires and get them locked up just a bit. Michael Deitch going to do a big burnout there and get it back on the way. Aiden Walker going to be in a similar spot as he gets to just past the first segment of turns. Sean Conklin going to back it down just after it looks like Chase Schaefer on the track, as he's going to get it close to where Conklin is. River Page getting out on the track as well. Looks like a good majority of these guys are out on the circuit. And Aiden Walker going to be one of those guys as well, as he will slowly but surely make his way down to the start-finish line alongside the sea of other drivers making it there as well. Michael Deitch in the number 57 machine rolling on at the same point in time. As you can see, he's going to go just a bit wide. They're almost getting it shaken out entirely, able to save it there. And with 8 minutes and 33 seconds remaining on the practice charts, not a lot of time for these drivers to get something done here. It's all about doing it right at the first opportunity or not doing it at all. Some guys do choose not to qualify. That is, of course, an option as a driver here in the IORA Cup Series. You would just be sent to the back, but the back is only about 6 rows deep. So there is a chance to make it happen, even if it is not possible to get it up front if you sacrifice your qualifying spot for a better race finish. It's all about where you finish, not always about where you start, unless you need that bonus points. Guecci going to take you through for the first time lap here in Austria. The Red Bull Ring qualifying is now live, and drivers taking it past the start-finish line for the first time as Sean Conklin moves it right by the camera. And Conklin, one of the fastest guys in this season. We saw him dominate before we switched to the next gens. And ever since then, going to be a lot harder, or it has been a lot harder for the 54 machine to put it up front. But he's still one of the fast guys here, and certainly one to make a note on, as Aiden Walker going to come down, and he's going to be only about a second or two behind Conklin. As you can see, the difference in physicality, as Mason Moriarty going to take it down to the start-finish line for the first time now. And he's going to be one of the guys to get there just a bit later. And as we note that, Chase Schaefer around the outside there, he looks to be about halfway through his lap in the 99 Monster Designs machine, been fast in practice. Now looking forward to getting his fastest 2 laps in all session long here and now. And you can see how nicely, how smoothly Schaefer takes that turn. We saw Michael Deitch bobbling around just a bit. And you can see once again, gets it way outside, and he's able to keep it going, but still using all of the track. Sometimes not the most efficient way to do it, and not the fastest way to do it as well. And as you can see, the Red Bull Ring logo in the back of the field, this is a G-shaped circuit. And coming down to the stripe, it looks like Chase Schaefer going to be on the move here and might be able to set one down. Let's see if this hot lap's hot enough to keep himself at the top of the board, as James Thurston with a 1:32.122 now top of the charts. Conklin in second, and James Thurston sees that Chase Schaefer puts it second now by 37 thousandths of a second. It's close for the top 2 drivers now. We'll see who's going to be able to pick it off and get the victory here in qualifying, and see who gets that coveted pole position. These two are oh so close on pace, and it looks like now Schaefer not much slower than his past lap, and now it actually looks to be quicker by only a bit. James Thurston there as well. They're oh so close to the best laps, but Schaefer looking faster now, might be able to set it into the 131s. Aiden Walker is in third, Lyles down to 6th, and Michael Deitch looks like he has no time lap just yet. He's on to his second. We'll see if this one counts. If it does not, he's going to be starting at the back of the pack. Alex Anderson on the move himself, 1 lap in to his qualifying run in the Focus Factor number 67. River Page is in 5th. Chase Schaefer in 2nd right now, as James Thurston still going to lead him through. And I do believe Sean Conklin now behind James Thurston when it comes to the physicality of the track. And we will see whether or not the 96 puts down a good one here. It's do or die when it comes down to the final segments of this track. And you can see coming down to the final 2 turns, is going to be able to make a good one happen here. We will find out. He's about 2/10 up on his best lap. Schaefer is up by 3/10 now. So coming down to the line, everything is being put into this one. Schaefer coming down as well, but James Thurston puts it at the top of the board again with a 1:31.929. Now we wait. Schaefer goes all the way to the high side. He's going to be oh so close to the grass, but coming down, the momentum on his side. It is a 9:05, and Chase Schaefer leads practice by 24 thousandths of a second. And now, top of the board with Aiden Walker about a second back, and River Page now in 5th, 3 seconds behind. Michael Deitch puts it up to 6, Alex Anderson up to 7 on his first lap, and Mason Moriarty 2nd lap in, and he has it all adrift, and he's still going to be able to keep it on going. But Chase Schaefer, fastest man on the charts. Already interviewed him in practice. How about we interview him here in qualifying? Schaefer, top of the board right now. How do you feel? Because that car is wicked fast. What's it going to take to win this one here in Monza?
No mistakes. Whatever happened at Okayama, I got to do it again. Keeping those lap times up, and again, just no mistakes. Try not to miss any braking zones. Not trying to go past anything. Just gonna keep our heads up, and yeah, if we make a mistake, we just keep going.
And certainly all about keeping going here. 1 minute 31, the fastest lap ran in this session so far. So what's the key to being so quick? And do tires now have an effect on these next gens? Because a lot of drivers saying not the case for a long while. Now it might be just that.
Making use of the braking zones. That's where you gain a lot of time with this car, since it's got low downforce. If you can make the most out of it, you can gain a couple tenths, a couple hundredths out of it. So just keeping those braking zones in mind when putting down these laps, and also try not to lock up, because then if you lock up, you ain't going nowhere.
And absolutely trying to avoid lockups, keeping these tires fresh. Do you believe tire strategy will impact this event here in Austria?
Depends on how long we go green flag. With how it looks right now, I don't think it'll be too big, but we'll have to see.
That we will see. 3 minutes remaining on qualifying here, so when it comes down to it, of course, the race is going to be much longer. Do you think that these lap times are going to be held on to as the race goes on? Do we expect to just see yellows to keep these guys backed up to one another?
Well, as for lap times, they'll probably drop off. Just people trying to play it more safe. And as for yellows, we don't have a whole lot of people here, so I'm sure we'll probably get some green flag runs in.
That we will see. Last time by at Monza, despite the lack of green flag runs, Chase Schaefer took it home with dominance. Now on top of the board once again. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you.
And Schaefer going to drag him right back into his voice chat there. And how about it for the driver of the number 99 machine? Back on top once more. And it looks like we put him into the wrong one. We will get him into the right one. And these guys all working with one another as they get ready to get it going. Everyone in communication, as River Page appears to be the only driver still on the track. Alex Anderson looks to be about done with his qualifying run there. And here we go, getting it back at it once again. And it looks like Page, these laps do not count when it comes to qualifying, so we are going to show you your starting grid just a bit early in anticipation of our 27-lap event. And we will have a standing start here in Red Bull Ring. And just to make sure we don't crowd up that standing start with the starting grid information, here you go. Here are the guys who are going to be starting first, second, third, and then some. And leading them off, it will be the driver of the 99 machine, and Chase Schaefer with 131.905. Then James Thurston with 139.1. It looks like it could be messed up there. It's a 131.929 and a 24,000 second deficit there. And those thousands, they count here in qualifying, and Schaefer able to use the most of them and get that edge. Aiden Walker with a 132.979 in third, and Sean Conklin with a 1.33.294 in P4. 33.551 for Sean Rowe, and 34.433 for Mason Moriarty. Then, from there on out, if you look at the remainder of the field, it will be River Page in 7th with 134.972, Michael Deitch with 135.234, and then Alex Anderson 9th, Corey Lyles in 10th with 140 flat, and Braxton Whitaker, Vince Guecci rounding out the field, not putting a qualifying lap down and putting it on iRacing. 12 drivers to set the stage here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, and the home of the Austrian GP, here to put on a great show. And we don't have all too many drivers, so we should see a great green flag run. A lot of great drivers, and they are certain to put on a show worth watching. Standing start camera as everyone gets loaded in. It looks like the good majority of the field here. Whitaker joins in. Rowe and Page, they'll be waiting on, and now they are all here. Now we're going to get it started. And engines revving up. They're all lit up, and it looks like this time by, we will be going green. And it is here, and it is now. Green flags out in Austria. Let's go racing. Final race of the IORA World Tour, and Schaefer leads them off. And Schaefer going down and around. Let's find out just what happened. A big incident already, and it's the driver of the 99 machine who's going to have a big one early on in this event, and he is already down to dead last, so let's see it again. As you can see, not a great start. Thurston able to jump it, and it looks like setting himself into the first turn, and he will have a spin. That's going to be South Street. He's trying to get that all back in one turn. Schaefer down into 11th. And jeopardy for winning the World Tour after such a great qualifying effort. Schaefer down to 11th here. Not good at all. And James Thurston leads the way. And as the driver of the 96 machine pulls away, he now has a 1 second lead over position number 2. It is still led by the 96, and now Conklin is in second. And no other incidents past that. Everyone able to get through nice and clean. Sean Rowe is in 12th. And Schaefer, being avoided by the remainder of the field, is now all about picking up pace and picking up time and fast. As the 99 machine now has to make up about every single point on the table here. If he wants to get that victory, still has that pole position bonus point. They might be able to keep him in the running, but he now has to catch up to guys like Guecci, Whitaker, and Deitch. Whitaker gets just a bit slow there, and Guecci able to pass him. And Schaefer still caught up to the back of the field. He still stay green. James Thurston leads lap number 1. Sean Conklin in second spot, about a second and a half off as we speak. Aiden Walker in third. And River Page is in fourth. As they're all going to line up single file going into the braking zone. The back of the field now going to be very intense as Schaefer watching as a sea of drivers take the turns before him, and he's certainly not happy about that. It's all about getting aggressive right now and pushing yourself to get up front. Whitaker going to be able to let the 99 machine by, and now he's caught up to the guys right in front of him, including Wetchy and Lyles. And you can see on frame, it looks like Alex Anderson still for the taking. It's Schaefer able to put it up to the test. And a lot of points still in front of him. Able to cross over Braxton Whitaker. Whitaker going to go into the big-time gravel trap there and goes around the outside trying to make something happen. Not one but two drivers. Gets blocked off just a bit. And now stuck behind Guecci and Lyles as they're going to fight side by side. It's going to be a scuffle, and they are going to both spin in front of Schaefer. Schaefer gets damaged, and they still roll through, but it's going to be the 09 wrecking with the 56 able to get out of it, and Schaefer now gets up to 8th, chasing down Michael Deitch. Alex Anderson in front of the both of them, and Anderson chasing the driver of the 6 as Mason Moriarty in 5th right now, slowly but surely gaining in on the battle for 2nd. It is Page, Conklin, and Walker, as they're still about 2.5 seconds off of your race leader in James Thurston. Thurston, a man on a mission, 3 laps in. Having all that pace so far, it looks like none of it has dropped off. A 1 minute 32.750 for your race leader. That time by a 1 minute 33 for Walker and a 1 minute 34.8 for Sean Conklin, and Page a bit quicker as Alex Anderson going to go into the grass there. Let's get an instant replay, see what just happened. 67 machine single car incident, and it looks like the exact same as Chase Schaefer, and able to avoid the gravel trap there. Not going to be able to hit it with the front end, but does tag it with the rear, and he's still going to keep on going as Corey Lau is going to lose a bit of time once again, and now Schaefer is up to 6th, making it through half of the field already, and he is on the move. And for the taking, it will be the next driver up. It's going to be Mason Moriarty in 5th, slowly but surely gaining into the top 5. And James Thurston with a 1 minute and 32.750 fastest lap in this race so far. Still a lot of racing to be ran, but Aiden Walker is pretty far off by about 3 seconds now. And Sean Conklin in 3rd is going to be pretty far off as well. But the battle for 3rd getting intense. Let's ride on board with the driver of the 54 machine for just a moment. And you can see the defense at the highest degree there, and using every single inch of the track with that 54 machine getting incredibly wide, trying to hold on to something here. As the 54 being chased down by the 24 of River Page. And they are not side by side just yet, but Conklin oh so close to making something happen here. As we're green the first 4 laps of this event, River Page is right there. And they are back to back. Now they're going to be side by side. If Conklin doesn't shut the door, now Conklin does, and they will be side by side. Whenever Page gets a shot, he goes around the outside, tries to cross him over, gives a bump, and that nudge is going to be able to lift the door open, and now they'll be double file down the back here, and they are still pretty far off from now even Aiden Walker, and they are about 6 seconds off of your race leader. For them, it's all about getting this spot here as Mason Moriarty being chased down by Schaefer. Schaefer now in frame with the top 3 guys. And that is no good for anyone trying to get that victory in the championship as Mason Moriarty goes way off the track, able to keep it on. And now Chase Schaefer, knowing he's got an opportunity to get a spot back, able to keep it in nice and stable. Moriarty certainly going to have his groove taken away from him. And the 99 will now have the edge in momentum. And his momentum sways pretty far in favor of the 99. Alex Anderson, another incident. Let's find out just what happened here. because it looks like he's going to go way around there. The driver of the 67, another single car spin, and he's going to have to let Sean roll right by, and he's going to lose about 8 seconds on that lap there. As the 67 having a lot of trouble keeping it intact. Corey Lyles now down in the 12th, and it looks like he's going to be in 11th now as Sean Rowe goes down 2 laps. But in his own world, a 56 machine is not in a good way. However, James Thurston, same situation, just much better. 3.5 seconds up on second. And as it stands, Sean Conklin, third on the board, going to be still fighting with the River Page machine there. And Page in fourth is holding on nicely in the Miata Gang Designs number 24. They are oh so close, third and fourth here. And they continue to battle on into the back. As Mason Moriarty now 3.5 seconds off him. And Chase Schaefer now within 2 seconds here. And let's ride on board for just a moment and see how it is. Chasing down the 6 as he gets in the gravel just a bit again. And Schaefer looks to be that much faster. He put down the best lap for him as a 132.621. Thurston just put down the best lap time overall of 132.213. So Schaefer, while not the fastest driver on the track, still gaining in on everyone for the leader here. And that could save his World Tour status. And as you can see, the driver of the 99 gaining in oh so closely. The man right in front of him, Mason Moriarty, coming down to the braking point, looks just a bit more unstable. Goes way wide there. Schaefer not going to do that at all, and you can see now the gap is within 1 second. Mason might not have to keep it intact, and he's going to have to move in just a moment. As you can see, Schaefer now 6 laps in is oh so close to the man he's been fighting all race long here. And from the last position all the way up into 6th. And Moriarty goes wide, and they both do go wide there. And now, the battle for 5th is about as intense as the battle for position number 3. River Page still behind Sean Conklin, has not yet made a move. As now, 2 battles in 1 frame. And the 54 having the edge over the 24 still, is Moriarty keeping it in front of the 99. And almost a third of the way into this event. And the driver of the 99 machine now going to be able to make the pass on Mason. And all the way up, he is now within 4 seconds of the battle for third. And he might be able to take in control of that. Now he put down a 2.58. Chase Schaefer did, and he's about as fast, if not slightly faster than Thurston. As that time by, he did get blocked by Mason Moriarty, so he is on the move and looks to be one of the fastest guys on the circuit. And while there might not be enough time to put him in first, he could chase down everyone up into the 2nd spot, as he looks to be about a second a lap quicker, as Mason Moriarty going to be able to hold that drift down, but still losing that much more time, as Sean Conklin and River Page now have someone gaining in on the both of them, and that is Schaefer, putting it down perfect after that first lap incident. And even if he made one mistake, he said in pre-race interviews, even if there is a mistake made, you just have to keep on pushing from there. And that is what Chase Schaefer has done eloquently as he comes down to the straight this time by, and he is still within the clutches of the battle right in front of him. Now it's going to be about a 3-second deficit. It becomes 2 seconds as these two are tiring each other out. Only a few moves made every lap. And even still, they are slowing each other down. And crucially, through the slowest segments of the track, all about getting those turns right. If you get a wrong, you are going to be in a big amount of trouble. You see, pushing him back up again, Conklin gets a major edge. The draft will keep Page in it. And still, Chase Schaefer now getting oh so close to this battle. They're about 2 seconds separate. And the driver of the 99 is oh so close to making not 1 but 2 passes. The rotors glow in the 24 machine, and Conklin gets a bit squirrely once again, and that's going to keep Page in the game here. These guys just keep making mistakes, and time after time, these mistakes are going to slow them down, as Schaefer and Thurston still playing back-to-back 2 laps in when it comes to the .2 and the decimal point, but Schaefer looks to be just a bit slower, not all too much slower, as Thurston going to be making his first mistake there. He looks to be about a second off of his main pace. And Chase Schaefer now has opportunity to pounce on a lot of drivers, as Mason Moriarty using a lot of time here, gets it onto the grass multiple times over, and he's got something wrong with those tires. They might be just a bit worn out. And Michael Deitch going to go around with Alex Anderson as well. Anderson losing 5 seconds on that lap, and it's going to give 7th spot up to Deitch there. And Anderson down into 8th. Whitaker is in 9th. And Corey Lyles is in position number 10. Vincigucci now going to be just about a lap down there. And Sean Rowe is in the 12th spot. 2 down. He's still racing here, waiting for perhaps a caution. Keep him in the game. 8 laps in out of 27. And it will be now a total of 20 laps remaining. And this race has gone by pretty quickly. No cautions, and no cautions are expected to fly. It's coming down the line. Thurston and Walker pushing quite nicely. And Sean Conklin there as well. The 54 machine with the 24. They're side by side once again. And Chase Schaefer is still within 2 seconds, if not a bit less. And side by side they were. Page going to be able to consolidate it as Conklin goes for a wild ride, able to keep it intact. And the 54 falls behind the 24s. Schaefer gets into the gravel trap at the same time. And now it looks to be a much slower game for the guys in the middle of the pack. Conklin going to lose some time. Schaefer is going to lose some time as well. And Page comes out the big winner as he looks to be a bit quicker in his last few laps. Now taking on the Jets and putting them onto the driver of the number 24 machine. He looks to be about the fastest man on the circuit for now, as the 24 leading the 54 with the 99 right behind him. It is now going to be 1, 2, 3 for the bow ties, as it's going to be Mason Moriarty in the 6th spot, but Thurston, Walker, and Page, as now Aiden Walker, as a matter of fact, representing Chevrolet, so it's not going to be all of the blue ovals. The bow ties doing great so far. And Walker still within 4 seconds here. As Braxton Whitaker going to lose a bit of time on his lap. He's still in a world of his own. He's got about 11 seconds on the next driver of Corey Lyles. And Alex Anderson has 10 seconds on him. So it is just about a test drive here for the driver of the 51. As Thurston going to come uphill here. And Aiden Walker going to follow him right up. As River Page and Sean Conklin still fight. But now Chase Schaefer just about a second away from the battle. Conklin able to reel himself back in quite nicely, but Schaefer still there as well. These two are not to be messed with, as River has competition for not one, but 2 very fast drivers at road courses. And the 54 watches at the rearview mirror as Chase Schaefer almost goes off of the track there. Able to keep it back intact, but the 54 has some competition that's playing it very aggressive. Yet another 132 for Schaefer. And that was a 134 for Conklin. And he's going to lose time once again. And it looks like he's on super speed, Chase Schaefer, as Conklin makes yet another mistake. And that's going to be compounding a series of mistakes, losing him and Schaefer more and more time on River Page. Watching on board with Conklin, you can see the aggression for the driver of the 54 trying to keep it in front of Schaefer. And the 99 is just pushing oh so hard. And this time by might be able to make a move with 18 laps remaining. And that Schaefer will go peeling down to the inside line. Not going to make it happen that time through, but still gets a nice exit. They're going to be able to chase Sean Conklin down once again. This is for 4th. Page is in 3rd. And Schaefer pushing lap after lap like there is nothing wrong, and still about the fastest driver in the circuit. Is Thurston going to be about a 1/10 of a second slower that time by Aiden Walker is in frame, and they're about dead even lap after lap now, as it looks to be about a 4.5 second deficit between the two. And Page gaining in on the lapped car of Vincent Guecci. Let's see how the driver of the 09 plays it. And he's going to play it down, back it down big time, as 2 drivers going into the braking zone at the same time as lap car. Almost jeopardy there, and nothing's going to come of it as the 99 keeps it going. And the 99 of Chase Schaefer is on a tear. Fastest driver in the field. He's in position number 5. And even though he wrecked on the first lap, sent it down all the way to last through the green flag period we've had so far. Only 10 laps. He's gone from last to 5th in an incredibly competitive field of drivers, as James Thurston pulling away nicely. And Schaefer, even though he's a C-Class road racer, has made something for himself here, as he's got 1 driver in front of him who might have a lower road rating, but it's still Sean Conklin putting on an incredible defensive effort. As they go down to the stripe once again, Conklin is still in front as it is 17 laps remaining. James Thurston going to take it down on the start-finish line, and now losing a bit of time as Aiden Walker sets in, and he gets yet another 1 minute 32 second lap in. That's going to be one of his fastest all race long, a 132.698. Page is in 3rd, Conklin in 4th, and Chase Schaefer in position number 5 as Mason Moriarty puts it in position number 6. Michael Deitch 7th, Alex Anderson in 8th, and it's going to be Braxton Whitaker in 9th with Corey Lyles in 10th. Gwetchy is in 11th, now 1 lap down, and Sean Rowe still 2 down, chasing Michael Deitch here. And a lap car battling with the lead car, but it looks like now Rowe is going to go down to the inside line and try to make the lunge in. We'll see whether or not he makes it, and he will go down all the way to the inside and get it done on Deitch. He's going to move in quite nicely. His best lap is 133.5, so not far off of the leaders here. As it looks like the top 4 guys have all ran 1:32s. River Page, you can almost see his competitor going to the gravel trap. Nice save from Schaefer, still going to lose just a bit of time there. And Schaefer back on the move as tire wear might be coming into play, but Aiden Walker, the only guy combating it quite well. Last lap for him was a 132, and last lap for Schaefer and Thurston. Both in the 133s for Michael Deitch, going to go around there and able to keep it back intact. And we'll find out what happened here as he's trying to battle the lap car of Sean Rowe. Nothing on the line for him to battle him, as now Anderson about 6 seconds away, and he's going to get hopped over the sausage curb and almost put into the guardrail. A nice maneuver to get him out. But now, it looks like Anderson might just have a shot at getting him, as a 67 machine still rolling strong with Deitch right in front. Now 57 on a tear. Sean Conklin now in despair as the 54 losing time to Schaefer and River Page at the same time. Not 1 but 2 passes made on him within the last 5 laps. Nearly halfway into this one, Chase Schaefer is about 2 seconds away from what could be his next pass. Last lap by for him, he was about 0.3 of a second faster, a 132 for him, as it looks like James Thurston getting back into form, and he's still going to be able to pull away just a bit from Aiden Walker. It is a 4.5 deficit, and it was down to 4 seconds only a moment ago, but now Schaefer and Thurston back in element, as it's going to be Aiden Walker running a 133 lap time by, and he's going to be one of the slower drivers in the field, about on pace with Sean Conklin, if not a bit slower. His match that time on pace, it might have been Alex Anderson down in 8th, so not good. Walker losing a lot there as Corey Lyles down on pit road, and this could be a strategic decision. We will see whether or not that is the case. However, it appears we're not getting a read on the driver of Corey Lyles, as they might have pulled it down on pit road by his own doing, and we will find out. It looks like he just pitted it after a spin there and towed it. He might be done for the night, as James Thurston leading still with Aiden Walker 3.5 behind, and River Page 10 seconds back. Chase Schaefer 4th spot in the move with 16 laps remaining, and Sean Conklin in 5th here as he's got nowhere near him. And it was the battle between Schaefer and Page, the most intense on the track, and you can see the rotors growing bright orange as Schaefer taking every turn hard, and the brakes being used up, but it looks like just enough time to use them up as he's playing it intense but playing it fast, and it's all about speed and power lap after lap here. And it looks like Schaefer knowing the name of the game as he comes down to the inside line once again. Now it's going to be within 1 second here, within the 24 and the 99's gap, and Schaefer having to fight hard to get back up on that podium. If he does get back on the podium, he might just have the World Tour locked up. On the way to Walker could be a dent in his plan, as Walker put together a great run himself, and the 93 machine just might be able to come out as the World Tour winner. The way things are headed, we will see, but James Thurston stealing the lap-led bonus. If Schaefer was the man with that lap-led bonus for even 1 lap, I think it would be dead even if he gets by River Page, but it could be 1 point of an advantage for Aiden Walker as it is, so not good for the driver of the 93, or rather the 99 as well. It's about a 3-way battle for this top spot in the World Tour, and it could go any driver's way here with 15 laps remaining in the mini-series. As we look through the remainder of the field, again, it looks like Vincent Guecci now about a lap down. Corey Lyles back out on his way, so he's actually going to just spin it and put it back on the circuit here. Doesn't even take a faster pair. Nobody's taking a faster pair just yet, as Moriarty going to lose just a bit of time on the circuit there, and the 6th machine going to have just a bit of trouble hopping it through the curbs once again, but everyone on the same car they started with, and keeping it clean, keeping it green, as Vincent Guecci gaining into the driver of that number 6. Last time by for Moriarty was a 1:34 for certainly some trouble in the 6 camp, as Chase Schaefer gets by River Page for the first time all race long. Now Schaefer is up to the podium. Aiden Walker still is in 2nd, and Schaefer is about 2nd off It's going to be 7 seconds off now, as a matter of fact, compared to the drive to the 93, and it could be a lost cause to get up to the second spot, but you may as well try. With 14 laps to go, he'd have to put in about a half second a lap to have an opportunity to pass him, and last time by, he did put in about a half second, so while it is still in the cards, he'd have to push 110% lap after lap and put down perfect laps, as he's still the only driver going into the 132 range. As of last lap, Thurston was close, 41,000 seconds off of it, but still not enough. Close but no cigar for the driver of the 96 machine, but the 99 is still moving as 14 laps remain here. And we've about crossed to the halfway point for the driver of James Thurston, as he will come through to the start-finish line any moment now, as Aiden Walker is still pretty far off of him, and now it's going to be at 3.3 seconds, so Walker might be able to make something happen here and perhaps get himself up into the lead dynamic and make himself known as a competitor for this victory, as Walker now shaving off about a second on the race leader. Thurston comes down to the stripe that time by. He's got about a 3.4 second advantage. And Chase Schaefer rounds out the podium here. River Page is in 4th, Sean Conklin in 5th. Mason Hardy is in the 6th spot. Deitch in 7th, Alex Anderson is in 8th now. And it looks like right behind him, it looks like Anderson actually goes off the track big time. It looks like Braxton Whitaker going to have an opportunity to make something happen. It looks like Anderson now going to get on his way. And visually speaking, the car is fine, but the tires might just be shot up, as Whitaker almost makes the same mistake. And nicely done to be able to avoid it and keep himself on the track forward thinking there. He gains about 3/4 seconds as Anderson loses 7 seconds on the lap, as James Thurston still leads him through, as we are now past the halfway point. A clean, green, fast race here in IORA. Aiden Walker now 3 flat seconds away. That time by about a half second quicker, and Walker could take this one from Thurston. And I think that if Walker gets this victory, he will have the World Tour wrapped up. James Thurston, similar situation. Chase Schaefer just needs to get up into 2nd, I feel. But I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. It's all about how I'm, of course, interpreting the point situation. 3 points the gap. And it might just be because of the Formula 1 point standing, so that could be a difference as well. These points are calculated different, so I think James Thurston might be in the best position right here. Walker there as well. Chase Schaefer in it in the moment. But he's going to have to gain just a bit more time. He's about 5 seconds off now on Walker. And he's about the fastest man on the circuit right now, still putting down 1 minute 32s. That time by was almost his fastest lap. And now Schaefer proving what he's got as Sean Conklin gets by River Page. This battle is back on its way. And now it's the battle for 4th between the same 2 drivers we saw for 3rd. He's relentless on the circuit. Coming down the inside line once again, and Page going to not put him up there on Conklin. They're back-to-back, bumper to bumper, but still, nothing going to be made there. It's Mason Moriarty still going to be way off them by 20 seconds, and the battle for the lead is getting closer. 3 seconds between Thurston and Walker, and 7 between Schaefer and the Walker machine himself. As it looks like Conklin going to go up to the wide side, as River Page going to push him through their double file once again. The battle for 4th is heating up here, and now it's all about what they have under the hood. The performance down the straightaway. The draft might be able to help Page keep himself in the mix, but now it's Toyota on Ford keeping back to back. And lap after lap, these two have been fighting, and they will go back at it once again. It looked like Conklin had an advantage for a while. Now it looked like Page had an advantage. And loop back to one another, and now Conklin has the position. No, Page wants it. These guys have been more vicious to one another than any group of drivers on the track. And still, they are fighting like there's no tomorrow. As Chase Schaefer last time by puts down a 1 minute 32.5, and still about the fastest driver on the track. Mason Moriarty loses about a second and a half there during that segment of the circuit. Still moving quite nicely here. He's in the 6th spot, and River Page is in 5th. But 22 seconds the gap between 5th and 6th. And Michael Deitch about 26 seconds back on Moriarty here. So not any competition for Mason here. He can cruise it around and keep himself in the spot he's in. 11 laps remaining. As Thurston puts it down to the stripe himself. Aiden Walker right behind him. Chase Schaefer is in 3rd. And Sean Conklin is in the 4th spot. Is it going to get squirrely that time by? And now it's going to be Page taking down the straight line, double file, and it looks like Conklin now not having the advantage. And it looks like now the inside line might be all that can save him. As coming down into this turn, it looks like Page has the edge for only a moment, and he will use it. And he's going to use it quite nicely. Conklin going to be able to hold in on the inside line. That's going to be the only thing keeping him in the mix. As Anderson loses a series of time once again. Now going to lose about 3 laps and 3 seconds on his lap. My apologies there as Braxton Whitaker now within the mark. 8th position as Conklin and Page do battle once again. No contact as Page going to try to diamond arc it there on the driver of the 54. And getting oh so close. He might be able to make it happen that time by. Not going to be able to make it stick oh so close. He was indeed. It's going to be bumper to bumper that time by. Backs off. Now going to be about a car length of distance between him. And Chase Schaefer now 5 seconds off. And Aiden Walker a second and a half away from the race lead with 11 laps remaining. He's been biting away at that race lead lap after lap. Patience has been critical to keeping himself in the battle for that victory. Nobody else on the charts. These two drivers have been. But Chase Schaefer has been faster. Unbelievable that these guys have been moving. Nothing else going on except the drivers of the 93 and, of course, the 96. That's the 99 gaining in on them at the same time. So these top 3 guys are just moving at one another and pushing themselves at wit's end. Side by side, there we go. And James Thurston currently in the first spot. How about we take a lap with him? And as we look away from that segment, River Page and Sean Conklin have lost 10 seconds on the guys in front of them. And now they're 20 seconds back on Chase Schaefer. Schaefer 6 seconds from the lead pack. Is Michael Deitch going to lose a lot of time there? Alex Anderson going to be able to gain in big. And Michael Deitch, seeing as Braxton Whitaker going to be there as well. But it looks like the lead guys coming up to lap traffic here. And James Thurston going to have not 1 but 2 drivers to deal with immediately. It's going to be Thurston there with Corey Lyles. And now Braxton Whitaker going to be the next man up. But it looks like the top 2 drivers able to pull away. There are 9 laps remaining. And Chase Schaefer in the mix as well. And Sean Conklin now going to be 21 seconds off as he's going to go side by side once again with a River Page machine. Page on a tear so far, but not able to keep it up there as they're going to go side by side once more. 9 laps remaining. Chase Schaefer still in the mix as he's going to lose about 2 seconds that time by. The race might be done there as he makes yet another mistake. Unfortunately, that's going to be his second big mistake, and it might just cost him a shot at the race win, although these 2 guys are now fighting with lap traffic. And Thurston going door to door with Braxton Whitaker. Whitaker not letting off here. And Thurston might just be a bit upset here. But it looks like Whitaker going to be able to hold him off there as Page and Conklin go side by side once more. Aiden Walker now going to have to gain in on Braxton Whitaker and then get on to the driver of the 96. As Walker's chances at getting this win being clouded with lap cars right in front of him and right beside him. Side by side they go. And pushing it on, these guys will. The driver of the 93 machine on the move. Chase Schaefer in the 3rd spot. John Conklin in the 54. And it's going to be River Page right behind him. These 2 have been fighting to wit's end. And well, they are 20 seconds off of the board. They're still fighting like they are going for the victory. Coming to the stripe once again. It's now going to be 8 laps to go for them. That's Aiden Walker getting right by Braxton Whitaker. Down to the line with Chase Schaefer there as well. Walker now going to be 2 seconds off as he fights through the lap cars, gets by Whitaker. Now, the next man up is going to be the driver of the 96 machine. And the 93 has the rotors glowing front and rear. And while they work on side by side, they will keep pushing. And it looks like River Page going to go side by side with Sean Conklin. Again, Conklin gets the edge that time by. And now the 24 machine and the 54 go back once more, trading paint. They still will. And you can see with 8 remaining, double file, they still go. And you can see right now, Aiden Walker in the rearview mirror all the way of the driver of the 96. Take a quick look on board. And as you can see, the only driver in Thurston's rearview mirror is the man in that number 93, as Sean Conklin double file once again, as it looks like Mason Moriarty now within 3 seconds of the guys who are fighting. And that time by a 1:45 for Sean Conklin and River Page. They are taking each other down, and they won't go down without a fight here. They're about 34 seconds off, and now Mason within 3 seconds of 2 drivers. And while he was in no man's land all race long, 2 drivers are just coming down from the heavens to grace him with what could be yet another option to get a few passes in. 21 laps in out of 27, and they are moving away. It's the 54 and 24, losing about 10 seconds a lap, it seems like. And they will keep losing at the pace that they're going at. And you can tell, surely, that they will keep losing as it happens. Chase Schaefer still atop of the board with Aiden Walker in second. James Thurston in the first spot, of course. And it's going to come down the stripe once again, and it will be now lap 22 of 27. And you know what that means? The TrackCams22.com. Crank it up, the best cameras on iRacing. And we will take a quick break there. We hope you enjoyed. The best cameras on iRacing put themselves to work. We'll be right back uninterrupted. And with only 5 laps to go here in Austria, it's been a dominating run by the driver of the 96 machine in James Thurston. Nobody on his level, and that is for sure. Now we're going to come down the line and make it a total of 4 to go here in Spielberg. And he's been the man on the tear, and he's been the man with the plan time after time, and there is nobody on his level right now as he will take it down for yet another jovial run through. As Chase Schaefer is far from jovial here, as Mason we're already going to be side by side now with River Page. Page gets him that time through, and the battle these guys are having is still waging on. But Schaefer now within 5 seconds of the lead. Imagine if he didn't have that slip up where we lost 2 seconds in 1 lap, he'd be up there fighting for the victory, and still he is moving. And you can see now he's going to have a big issue there, but he's able to climb right out of it. And the 24 of River Page in the works. Mason Moriarty is in 5th here, and they are all rolling side by side, back to back. And Chase Schaefer still there as well in a 3rd spot. He is moving, and Aiden Walker now going to watch as the driver right behind him gets in the gravel trap once a bit, and that's going to slow him down, but he keeps it going. And the driver of Chase Schaefer is back on the move, but the gravel could almost get him there as these drivers of Mason Moriarty going to spin each other. They are going to spin, and 4 to go. Big time incident, 2 cars involved, and I'm not sure if that's going to be yellow. It could be a green, white, checkered, but it looks like it will be. And this changes everything. First yellow of the night, and I don't think anyone's going to be happy about that. James Thurston leading 24 green flag laps, and that will bring out caution number, presumably the only caution of the night. This indeed changes everything. We don't expect to have any pit cycle here, and these guys, I don't think will be happy when it comes to an interview, so we will be right back with a short break going Fireball Talks nonstop here, as we have had a great race so far here in Austria. 1 caution before we get to our green, white, checker, and we hope you enjoy the presentation here. This race is going to get a lot more intense. We will be right back live on FTN. We're going to take it briefly. Fireball Talks nonstop. We will see you in just a moment.
This message is brought to you by the rebrand of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This publication may not be reposted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. NASCAR Camping World Ford F-150. NASCAR Xfinity Ford Mustang. NASCAR Cup Series Next-Gen Ford Mustang. Arca Menards. This has been the publication of the redesign and rebranding of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This message may not be reposted, republicated, or rebroadcasted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. Thank you, and thanks for your time.
Bring it back for our brief break live on FTN. These guys are still pushing as James Thurston is your current race leader, the driver of the number 96 machine. And how we get a word with the man who is leading this one, as he has led it all the way. And now it's going to be a green, white, checkered to settle the shows. The iRacing pace car still leads them through. So James Thurston leading every lap so far. Now going to be up to a green, white, checkered. How are you feeling going into this one?
I don't know. I'm just going to pit here and just see what we can do.
Looks like for the first time, pit row going to be used all race long. The leaders going down as well. Some of them not. And strategy in the mix for the first time. How's it going to be? Do you think tires are important?
I hope they are. I'm pitting anyway because I need a little bit of fuel. But yeah, we'll see how it pans out. And yeah.
Adam coming down for the first time. One of the fastest drivers all race long. So how's it been when it comes to regulating pace? Because it looks like Aiden Walker not able to catch up to you on that run.
Yeah, I wasn't as fast as I wanted to be, but, you know, they were still catching a little bit, so we'll just see if I can make it to the finish.
And absolutely going to be coming out of pit row at any moment now, so any final thoughts going back to this one?
No.
Anyway, we have a James Thurston, number 96 machine, now coming out of pit row. Thank you for your time. Drag him right back in there. And it looks like not really happy about the situation at hand here as Aiden Walker now is your race leader. And Walker going to be top of the board for the first time all night long. So how do you feel with a newfound lead?
Hopefully I don't run out of fuel.
That we heard from James Thurston. It's going to be a fuel pinch here. So how close are you?
If I save enough, I'll be fine, but how IORA is, probably not.
It looks like fuel saving going to come into the equation. How is it going when it comes to tires not pitting that time by? Do you think tires are worth it?
Tires don't matter.
That's
all I gotta say.
So any final thoughts as we are 1 to green?
No, not really.
Here we have it once again. Now leading the way, top of the board, it is the driver of the 93 machine, Aiden Walker. Thank you for your time. A lot of brief comments from these guys up front right now. It looks like they're just waiting for stuff to get back into the show. As you can see, the 93 back out front. This time he is in first. And for the first time in forever, he's the man in the top of the board. As Mason Moriarty is in second. And James Thurston is in third. Slowly but surely making himself part of this field. Now actually looks like, as a matter of fact, Mason Moriarty going to be starting the inside here. Might just have the edge going into the series of turns that start this one off. As it looks like now 1 lap to green. Guys still catching up, going at full pace. And the pace car still has no lights on, meaning we will go 1 to green this time by. And actually going to go 0 to green as the pace car actually going to get extended there. So we will have 1 extra lap of pacing to get these guys back in order. And it looks like Alex Anderson about 28 seconds off, and these guys are going to be big time off as Michael Deitch actually goes off the track. And now he's going to be able to keep himself in motion. The 57 back on track there. It looks like Whittaker going to be about a minute off of the pace there. And Lyles and Sean Rowe catching up. And only in a similar vein as they are both 1 lap down. Only one retiree in Vincent Guetsch. He's about 6 laps down here. As the leaders coming to strike once more. It will be 1 lap to green once again. Still, we wait to get this show back on the road. 3 laps to settle it all. And it will be a 2-lap shootout, as a matter of fact, to get these guys up to the finish of this race. Time will tell how it will all play out for any of these guys. They still wait for something to happen. 3 remain before the show gets on the road here in Austria. We'll be live in only a few minutes after this one, and it will be a great show as well at Daytona with the Highline Racing League opening up their season. So excitement all across the board as Moriarty is there with Schaefer. River Page going to be in the mix as well. James Thurston joining the fray, and the iRacing pace car still rolling with 1 lap to green as the single. Sean Rowe still pretty far out. Corey Lyles there as well. But it looks like a good majority of these guys will be able to catch up this time by. And Schaefer there as your leader inside line. And it looks like Aiden Walker not in the mix there, as Walker, the 93, has gone down pit road. And it will have not worked out for the man up front. That 93 pitting that time by. And now he's going to be put into position number, looks like 6. But they're going to be 3 wide under yellow for just a moment there. And now it looks like 5th for Aiden Walker. And Schaefer in the 99 making a few mistakes early on to this race, but everything getting erased for a green-white checker to settle the score here at the Red Bull Ring. The first time the IORA Cup Series has ever gone here in its 3 seasons of running, and these guys are some of the best to do it here on iRacing. They put on great shows week in, week out. It's a small bunch, but a core bunch that puts on consistent racing action. This iRacing pace car will duck down for the final time all race long, just a sector's time. And Schaefer with Mason Moriarty, these two on a roll, and it all comes down to how they perform coming to the stripe here. The driver of the 99 meeting the driver of the 6, and Moriarty might just have a chance here. We'll see how big Schaefer's jump is. If it isn't big enough, he might not have the opportunity to make it happen. That we will see. It all could come down to a late race jump as the pace car is off this time by. The first and only restart of the night, and it's a green-white checker. As double file they go, and here we get to the action. The 99 and the 6 green-white checkered is on its way. This is it. Next lap, if we get to the right, next lap will end it. And it's going to be a hit already. Mason Moriarty able to save him, going to send it wide there. Going to be able to keep on going. Thurston gets it around as well. Everyone able to stay with the back of the field. No caution is out. Conklin gets hit. And the majority of the field able to keep going, but Thurston gets involved in it. Whitaker keeps it moving as well. And James Thurston going to lose everything in just a flick of the steering wheel. And caution is out. So let's find out what happened. Taking it back to an instant replay on the matter. Now looks like Thurston going to hit into Mason Moriarty. And going to tap Schaefer. And then Conklin hits him. Whitaker going to get involved with Alex Anderson. And these four causing the caution. Now, we head on to our second caution of the night race, getting extended after 24 clean laps. And here we go again. As the driver of the 99, now the leader far and away with Aiden Walker right beside him. Schaefer back on top after so many laps away from the point. And he has the opportunity to finish this one off very strong. And we'll see whether or not he can do just that. The Motorsport Designs number 99 machine looking to come home in first here tonight as he slowly but surely rolls on. This will be it before we get this race on its final segment. And that time I not able to make it through the first turn, so unfortunate, but we will see what these guys can do. Certainly going to be able to do just a bit more than that time. Just a bit of a fluke, and we will get back to the green flag action as Moriarty goes down pit road, and we will hopefully be green once again in about a lap's time. Keep going, and we should be live still. iRacing, and it looks like actually broadcasting going to be tapped out for just a bit. Apologies for the issue there, but we are still going, and something certainly just happened. However, we are back on our way live once again, and something certainly tapping us out for only a quick moment, and we will keep this one on its way. As Chase Schaefer still leading over Aiden Walker, River Page there as well, Michael Deitch in the mix, and Alex Anderson is in fifth, with Sean Conklin in 6th, and it looks like all the field is caught up. We should be able to go green sometime soon. Lyle's back in the lead lap, however, so maybe not this time, as Schaefer leading now, and River Page is in the third spot. It's how we get to talk with the driver who is third on the board right now. It is the driver of the number 24 machine, Page. Highest spot he's been all race along, and now things are getting a bit more intense. It's all about what happens from here on out. And River might be in the best spot to be in right now. Third position going into the second overtime finish here. So how do you feel as we get back to the green-white checker?
Oh, yeah, I feel definitely good. I know Chase and Thurston have just been on another world this race. I mean, Walker is up there too, but Chase and Thurston are just stupid quick. So I think me and Walker are definitely going to have to put a fight to Chase to get to him. But I'm feeling good, you know. I always seem to end up in the front on these late race restarts and road courses, so I'll see if I can not choke it away like I did Okayama.
And at the moment, having a great shot here with two fast drivers behind you. Now 2 laps, so a lot of action could come through. What's it going to be about avoiding chaos or just being fully aggressive when it comes down to the final 2 laps?
Yes, I think I'll restart on the inside lane, so I just gotta, you know, hope I give enough room to everyone on my outside and they give it back. But I'm second line. I don't really think that anything will happen to me. I mean, everyone from, like, the 4th lane back wrecked last time, so I don't really think it's gonna be in the front, you know. Most of these guys up here are doable drivers. So, oh, I'm on the outside lane. Yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. I think, especially because you can avoid turn 1, you can go really wide. I think I'll be fine.
Definitely the advantage there on the outside line. 1 lap to green this time by, so any final thoughts?
No, just good luck to everyone else.
There we have it, River Page in the 24 machine, now third on the board. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Dragging right back in, Michael Deitch is in the 4th spot. It looks like the 57 will start on the inside line there. It looks like the outside going to be able to get the edge for only a moment. And we will see whether or not Chase Schaefer is able to hold on here. The race could have been over now. We're getting about a 10-lap extension. If it goes any further than this, certainly already extended by a total of 5 laps, 32 laps into this race. And Schaefer leading Aiden Walker, Michael Deitch, River Page, Alex Anderson, Sean Conklin, Mason Moriarty, Braxton Whitaker. And they all keep it rolling. As the driver of the number 99 machine might be able to get this one done in style. Walker right behind him. And Deitch, we haven't seen him up front all too much. I might be able to shock the field and shock the IORA Racing scene itself if he's able to come out on front and get the victory here. Who knows? He has the chance to. Anyone has the chance to. With only a few laps remaining, a green-white checkered and the second green-white checkered. Matter of fact, as this one could be the one that succeeds. If it does succeed, as a matter of fact, it will be the final one we see. And if we get to the white, the next flag, caution, and most likely the checkered flag will end this race. And that will be it for tonight's festivities as we wait to get back to the green flag. And this could be the moment. Just a few turns before we get to it. And down to the stripe, the drivers will go once again. Chase Schaefer just on a tear, lap after lap here. And he might be able to make it happen. He just needs to put 2 more good laps in, and he will have that victory all to himself. But Aiden Walker been oh so close lap after lap, like it's been nothing. Oh so close, but no cigar just yet. Has not been able to get up front, not been able to lead. This, fates can change, and he could come out with an advantage that he did not have before. Coming down to the line, once again, Schaefer in the 99 machine with Aiden Walker in second. And Schaefer gonna lead us through down to the start-finish line. Once again, the second restart getting underway, led by the 99 machine. Here we go again. Chase Schaefer leads us to the second restart and the second green-white checkered finish. And here we go. Everyone gonna come down 3 wide here. And will they keep it straight going into the middle of the pack? It looks like they will for the most part. No, they will not. Everyone's gonna wreck, and it looks like we will have our third yellow of the night if things stay the same, and everyone's going to wreck. Whitaker going to be around. There's a Thurston involved as well, but nothing so far. And it will be Conklin in the mix as well. My goodness. Big wreck again, and no caution comes out for it until now. Third caution is out. Third overtime finish. And let's get a restart on that once again. Find out what happened. And it's going to be Walker getting tapped, then Whitaker in the back with Deitch. Moriarty, Lyles gets banged up. Big time hits there as James Thurston goes around with Sean Conklin, and everyone involved once more. Big incident, and we will have the race extended once again. Bad news for the guys up front as we will have yet another extended restart. Chase Schaefer still the leader, and James Thurston trying to catch up there as Thurston on the move, and this could be a shortened restart as well. As a driver to the 99 machine, leading once again, able to get far out in front. And these guys are now just wrecking to the back, and it's getting a bit surprising. 24 laps of green flag racing. And now, things are starting to fall apart for these guys. It looks like everyone in this mix is now just starting to wreck each other time after time, and that is far from what we want to see here. Clean racing, we saw it for the most of this race, and now we will see whether or not they're able to finish off clean. If they are not able to, it would be a shame. But also, it wouldn't be all too unexpected. It has been a pretty intense race. And now, intensity could be boiling over. It's going to be Chase Schaefer still out in front and nobody else on the level with a man in that number 99 machine. We wait to get this one back on its way. The man up front, able to keep it up front. Nobody on the hunt like Chase Schaefer. And Schaefer, with that edge, he's still going to be out in front with a great distance over the remainder of the pack here as we get settled in one more time and waiting to get the race on its way once more. And still the opportunity to get it back underway after a short moment. And we will wait to see how it will play out. The Highline Racing League still coming in just a few minutes. So wait right there and we will have it on its way. Still a great show to be had there when we get to it. We are excited for that one as well. 80 laps to open up the season. And it will all come down to a great bunch of drivers who have been pushing to the limit, getting themselves back on their way and pushing it back to the line. And we will see the IORA guys handle it. Second restart did not work out well. It's going to be Chase Schaefer leading over the man of River Page, and in third it's Sean Rowe. How about that? Rowe was oh so far back on the pack all race long, and now Rowe finds himself in the third position. A race of attrition for the driver of the 19 machine, and Rowe not available for comment right now, and that's unfortunate, but he has had an incredible race and he's been able to make himself home in the top spots. And Sean Conklin not up front, but Sean Rowe is. He's been a man on the move. I tell you what, one of the guys to follow here as he slowly but surely making himself a known commodity here, Sean Rowe, as he has put together a series of impressive races. And how about him, as he's now in the third spot. But Chase Schaefer, following that first lap incident and following a few incidents trying to get back up front, he has just been on the A game. Nobody stopping him. And it looks like nobody going to be able to stop him if this thing continues the way it has gone. And unfortunately, that is going to continue to be the case, as Schaefer leads them down double file once again. And we will see what we have in store. A lot of drivers waiting for a lot of excitement. One lap to green this time by, and we will wait and see how these guys handle it. The Porsche safety car is still waiting for the entire field to get bunched up. As one goes wide there, that is River Page. Mason Moriarty still up in front. Looks like he did not get damaged all too much from that final incident. And he back in the fight as if nothing happened. Keeping himself up front, a great effort for the driver of the number 6 machine. Might just keep himself out in front for an opportunity for the victory. It's all a slim shot for everyone here, as we still are pretty far from seeing this race even conclude. But either way, this could be it. And if it is, certainly going to be a finish to remember. 3 overtime finishes, and I believe that is the maximum we've had to use all season long. Nobody using anything more than that. And we will see if this is the max. And if it is, well, it's going to be a shame if it ends like this. If it is going to be ending under yellow, well, still a great show overall. And we will find out what it takes to get this victory, even if it comes at the price of a yellow flag finish. Chase Schaefer and River Page going to be side by side once again. And this could be for the final time. Driver of the number 99 there, the man of River Page. Guys have been on top of the world all race long, and this could be the finale. The third restart getting started in just a few moments time, and it will be a great one to watch for the driver of the 99 dominating this race oh so long, and River Page making himself known just a bit later, and still quite impressive. Now, time to see what he has in store. And if it is anything, well, we will find out and see whether or not it is worth watching. If it is worth watching, we'll see. Still it's Schaefer. Still it's River Page. These guys just holding on, waiting to get to the end of it. Now that they are just about there, well, all about biding your time and being patient as we wait and see what these guys have in store. Come down to this restart, and it will be the men up front of Page and of Schaefer with the stripe on their side. Once again, we will green for the third time, third restart, and third green white checkered. The next flag will end if we get to the white, and let's see if we get there this time by. First turn, aggression again. Thurston goes up to the inside line, but it looks like everyone able to save it. Just a bit of bobbling in the back, but we stay green. It's back to the back, still intense. Everyone keeps it intact that time by. And hold on like it's nothing. And this is when it becomes intense. Leading, it's still Chase Schaefer. River Page is in second. And they're oh so close to making contact, but no, they do not just yet. And now, it's all about keeping it on the track. And it's going to be all about keeping yourself in the level, the performance required to win an IORA Cup Series race. Everyone oh so close to winning it now. But it's all about execution. And if you're not able to execute in this scenario, well, it's just about over. And we will see whether or not it happens here. As Chase Schaefer now pulling away, and everyone in the back of the pack having some incidents. Braxton Whitaker, James Thurston pretty far off the pace. River Page with Sean Rowe and Mason Moriarty now fighting for the second spot. And what a move for Mason, as he has made himself known as a driver to reckon with here in Austria. Some of his best road course running, and he is making a case as a road course racer and perhaps a road course ringer, with the driver of the number 6 machine putting on a great show here in Austria, and nobody on his level just yet. And he will keep it going like this until the race is over. It's going to be one lap to go this time by for Chase Schaefer. Aiden Walker goes around. No yellow is out. Able to save it. And the 99 looking to wrap up the World Tour. He just has to hold on for the final minute and a half. And he'll hit to do just that. what a race it has been, as it looks like River Page on his own in the second spot, and in third, still, the maneuvers pushing side by side for these guys. It's Mason Moriarty and Sean Rowe fighting for third here, and Rowe, what a run he has had, as now he gets up into the third board, and he has been laps down, he's been back in the pack, he's been far out of winning contention, and look at him now. Sean Rowe is in third and looking to make his case to get up into the podium tonight, as Chase Schaefer winning. It could happen if he's able to hold on, but it ain't over till it's over. James Thurston going to go around once again. It looks like Braxton Whitaker gets some big-time damage, able to keep it going. Aiden Walker down in 8th now, and James Thurston down in 7th. But Chase Schaefer chasing victory once more, trying to go back-to-back here and perhaps lock himself up as the championship favorite here in IORA, the Quantum Quest for the Cup. And it looks like he has just been able to keep himself in the hunt like it's nothing. There's a few points back following an abysmal start to the season, or an abysmal start to the chase as well at Monza. Winning at Okayama, well, he did it. And now to finish off the World Tour, Schaefer comes around through the final few turns, and it will be the 99 machine of Chase Schaefer winning in the final race of the World Tour here at the Red Bull Ring, and victory is all his. Great job, great performance, and dominance. He didn't have it tonight, but he was faster than anyone else and went from last to first throughout the entirety of this race. What a performance for the 99 machine. We will show you the race results as everyone has already crossed the start-finish line, and we are in a bit of a pinch for time. We'll be live in a few minutes after this, and Chase Schaefer getting home as the race winner. Unbelievable job. As you can see, the 99 climbing the summit here at the Red Bull Ring, and the results are already on their way. Chase Schaefer wins by half a second over River Page and Sean Rowe in third. Mason Moriarty, fourth spot, 2.5 seconds off, with Sean Conklin in fifth, and Michael Deitch in the sixth spot, and James Thurston position number 7. That's going to be the driver of James Thurston's adversary in this race. Aiden Walker in 8th, and Braxton Whitaker in 9th, and Corey Lyles in 10th. With Alex Anderson 5 down and Vince Guecci 16 down, 2 retirees for tonight's event. And what a race it was, as we get the interviews in just a moment's time. Chase Schaefer, your race winner, and what a performance that was for the man who ends up getting it done in style. It might have not been dominant tonight, and there might have been mistakes, but Chase Schaefer, you win the final race of the World Tour, and the $50 bounty is yours. How do you feel?
Oh man, I did the same thing I did at the Monza road course, and I was fortunate enough to be able to come back. I was on track to catch Thurston if it went green, but then I got out in the sand, and then from there it just went to shit. So that caution saved me, and I cannot believe I just went back to back. That's crazy.
And back to back in a competitive few races with guys like Thurston, guys like Walker, pushing each other to the limits. You're able to come out on the top of the board. How do those restarts help you?
Oh, I mean, the first one really didn't until I took the lead, because I just went wide and it worked out. But yeah, I definitely was a little scared of someone plowing into me from the rear. So fortunate enough for that not to happen. So yeah, good race.
And it looks like the tire gamble worked out for you, pitting earlier than a good majority of the field. Able to hold on. Did the tires mean anything in that final pull away?
Tires definitely helped, just with confidence. So I'm glad that happened. I think I just ran out of fuel. Yep, I ran out of fuel.
And how about that, coming to the line, just able to burn out a bit and running out of fuel. Looks like it was tight on fuel, so it looks like strategy played perfectly there.
Oh yeah, it just took like I think it was like a gallon or two on that one pit stop I did towards the end, and it worked out for me. So I'm glad if it would have ran all the way green, I probably would have been a little bit short, because I was not saving. I was just pushing in the case of the caution, and then I was probably just going to run out of fuel just a couple corners short. So I was hoping that was going to work. But race played out in our favor. Pretty sure we went from last to first, pull the freaking Checo. So that's pretty cool.
And how about that last to first in the night's event? Any final thoughts?
Follow at Monster Designs _ and at _ Monster Designs on _ Instagram, and that's all I got.
There we have it. Chase Schaefer coming home on top, winner in tonight's event at the Red Bull Ring. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you.
And second spot tonight, the driver of the 24 machine in River Page, able to come home and runner-up. What a race it was for the man in the 24, able to come home just a half-second short. How do you feel? And River Page appears to be down and out of the voice chats in tonight's event. And how about that? And we're going to see, actually, no, he's back up, and we will find out. River Page, 24 machine, second tonight. How do you feel?
I feel good. Sorry for leaving the voice chat. Yeah, it was a good race for me. I didn't think I would get to second, honestly. They just kind of went insane behind me, and I just went to the outside to miss it. And I let Chase get a little too far ahead of me in the beginning of the last lap, and then he started to choke pretty badly. He missed the last 3 corners, and I got within 0.5 of him, but wasn't enough. But yeah, I'm happy with second. Honestly, I'll take a podium any day. It was a really fun race. Yeah, I'm happy with second.
And certainly a great race for you. Chase Schaefer just ran out of fuel, so how's the strategy game for you, and how tight was it on fuel?
Oh, it was definitely going to be close. I mean, you saw Mason had to pit. I was going to have to pit if I wasn't the cause of the first caution, but it was really tight. Chase he pitted on the first caution, so he just had barely enough. He did a great job. Just getting the strategy just right, but it was going to be important if we went green, and we didn't, so it made it a little bit easier on everyone.
And certainly it looks like the green flag not going to be shown all too much, so the final restarts changing the pace of this race. So how was it managing the 3 restarts?
Oh, it was sketchy, I mean, it always is, especially at road course. I think they went 4 wide behind me every single time. I just was able to avoid it somehow. So it was tight, but I think the guys in the couple front rows did a good job. So.
Certainly the guys up front able to make it happen. The World Tour is over, and the remainder of the season will be back to the ovals. And it looks like Martinsville going to be a first of which. So how's it feel going back to the short tracks?
I'm glad, I mean, I love the road courses, but I'm getting a little old, honestly. Just the same guys who are way too talented than the rest of the field always are up front. So it's gonna be fun to head back to the oval. Yeah, also congrats to Chase on the World Tour win. He did a really good job every race that we had.
Absolutely, a man on the mission, Chase Shaver, but still runner-up tonight. Any final thoughts?
No, just yeah, good race, everyone.
How about that? River Page coming home in the runner-up position. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Trying him right back out of his voice chat and get the man in the 3rd spot in Sean Rowe. And the driver of that number 19 machine able to come home on the podium. How about that? And let's see how he feels, although it looks like he's going to be unavailable for comment. No, he's not. Sean Rowe, final driver on the podium. And how about that? How do you feel?
Very, very confused. I was like 2 laps down at once, I think. I was like dead last. And then I got pretty lucky with some of those yellows. Then made it through all the wrecks, and I was able to fend off May, and I was able to get P3 there.
And absolutely able to fend off and get to the podium. What a race for you, starting laps down, starting in dead last there, losing a lot of time. So how was it working your way back up?
Honestly, I felt like if I was on the lead lap and it went green, I could have at least gotten like P5. I felt like I was really fast among most of the people I was around, because I caught like 12 seconds on, I think it was like P6 at once, or like P4. I felt like I was flying. But near the end there on the final restart, my tires were a little worn out from that long run, and I didn't come in to change them. I just took fuel. And so it was a little loose there. I kind of hard to hold on to these cars, but yeah, just very hectic near the end there.
Absolutely a chaotic event with the final 3 restarts, and how do they impact your finish?
I think honestly, probably the most lucky I've been in this league, other than maybe a few other times. Yeah, I got really lucky, I think, on the second to last restart. I think Thurston got turned by Conklin, or he came down on him something. I was in P4. Like, I went from P11 to P4 in one corner. I was like so happy. And the final restart, I got pushed a little wide, and luckily they spun, but I was able to keep onto my spot there. And yeah, just very helpful for once with the restarts. Usually I feel like they're to my detriment, like last week.
And it looks like it all came down to the perfect spot for you. And we're going to go back to Martinsville, so the short tracks after the World Tour. So how do you feel about going there, as we will get back to the ovals for the remainder of the season?
It should be good. Martinsville is a really good track, especially with the next gens, in my opinion. Might be a little messy, a little beat and bang, but we'll see who comes out on top. I think I could have a shot at it. I really love that combo, but I don't know. Have to see some short track racing next week.
And absolutely looking forward to some short track racing. Sean Rowe coming home in the final spot of the podium tonight. Thank you for your time. I'm right back in, and that's going to be the end of our broadcast here, as we will be live in just about 4 minutes time. So we're on a bit of a bind here. Thank you all for watching as the Highline Racing League begins. And now it looks to be 3 minutes time. What a race here. Chase Schaefer, your winner, and we will be back. Thank you all. And we're not done for the night, but we will return. Have a great night. And we hope to see you in just a few minutes time. Stay on the channel page, like and subscribe if you want to stay tuned for more.